Hi, this is Osman. I'm an energy healer, yoga and meditation teacher, and an entrepreneur. Please be sure to visit my website, yogawellness786.com, for more information on our services as well as contact information. And also understand that our therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. If you have a medical condition, be sure to consult with a qualified and licensed medical practitioner in your locality. So today I wanted to address the question on why many long-term yoga practitioners stop advancing. All right. So in my practice and teaching of yoga and meditation, I met some, especially meditation practitioners. They're on advanced levels, and they experience advanced levels of their third eyes open and so forth. But they feel they've reached a plateau, and try as they may, they're not progressing beyond that. So firstly, it is their perception that they are not progressing. So as you go to each higher level, to go to the next level take that much longer. So let's say you reach enlightenment. So enlightenment, a lot of people think it's the climax, the end all. No, it is the very first step in the out of body development, right? In the spiritual, in the development and the spirituality side, because you have a body and you have an ethereal body and you have a spiritual body. So when you reach a certain level of elevation, you no longer need your physical body. You can continue with your ethereal body, and when you reach another level of advancement, you no longer need your ethereal body. You could go on with just your physical body. So if you go through a regular practice of meditation and so forth, it's going to take time as you reach higher and higher levels. So the advanced practitioners, those who can feel the open the third eye, or even those that not yet, they feel the third eye not yet open, they don't understand that the third eye opens in gradations, right? So the first sign of the opening of the third eye, there'll be a white light that appears in this forehead region in your mind's eye, and it's there 24/7. Whether you're sleeping, you're awake, it's there all 24/7. You see that light like a little white light, and it grows in brightness, and it like becomes completely bright, and then it eventually leads to the physical opening where you can see 360 degrees and so forth. But all these development take longer and longer time as you go into higher levels. And from the enlightenment level, it can take thousands of years before you go to the next level of enlightenment. It is said that there are 99 or 100 levels of enlightenment, right? And to go from one to the other takes that much longer, where it takes millions and thousands and millions of years to go to the next level. But when you have your spiritual body, the spiritual body is said to be deathless. So you can continue your progress and your meditation in that body and continue to advance your levels of spirituality, because you have time for millions of years of meditation in those bodies. You have the appropriate body, right? So when you are experiencing that you are no longer developed, as long as you're practicing your meditation according to what your teacher gave you, you've reached a level. You are not progressing. It's just you are now on the next track. And the next track or the next level is that much more difficult. So when you're playing a game, in the olden days, I don't know now, I haven't played any computer games, and it's not something that I'm into. But I know that you go to level 2 is that much more difficult. Level 3 is more difficult. Level 4, and each level is more difficult than the previous level, So like that, the advancement in spirituality, as you're progressing with your practice, it becomes that much more difficult to reach the higher and higher level. So even to reach the advancement, maturation of the throat level chakra, leave alone this level, very few people attain, development of this chakra, and it's a fraction of the percentage of the yoga practitioners, But by practicing it, yes, you are evolving, yes, you are advancing, yes, you're seeing, improvements. Maybe you're not noticing or not understanding. It's very incremental, and you're on the next level. You are experiencing higher increments and higher rewards. And many people don't even know the capacities that they have, these abilities, because they are not taught the theory. And the theory is a science that is a hidden science, and it's a hidden science because it was burnt and destroyed by, over thousands of years, by people who abuse the powers. With the knowledge of the powers, mystical powers that they get, they abuse it for the destruction of mankind. And that's when people intervene to destroy the evidences of these knowledges, and the information, so that further generations will not learn it to abuse. But still some of it seep through, and still some people, they call it the black arts. They have knowledge of it. But those who are perceiving they don't have, this is one of the reasons, right? That you are on a level, that you are on the next level is going to be more difficult, and you have to continue, right? Number one. Number two, also your practices is not a holistic. You're probably only practicing one level, like only either meditation and a few basic hatha yoga practices, which is good for balancing your energies, and your meditation for progressing. But you need something to boost your progress. So one of the things that is very important in maintaining the boost is the pranayama practice is very important, the right level. And the pranayama practice matures into kriya practice, where you learn to awaken, raise and drop your life force energy or the kundalini energy up and down your spine, and fast forward the opening of all the energy centers. So the energy centers open up, and the life force energy flows through all the major energy centers along your spine, and then it opens a little bit more, and then it flows in a higher level, opens a little bit more and a little more. There are thousands of gradations of opening until it's fully open, and then the energy will fully develop. So to fast forward that development, you need to manually be able to learn this practice. It's a kriya. So many people don't know this kriya, right? So you have to learn that kriya under a qualified person like me, because it requires me to transmit some of my energy, to that person, and guide that person on it. Independently and theoretically to do it is very dangerous, and it can lead to psychosis. There's been incidents where people were unable to control. They did it on their own. They were unable to control, because that energy, life force energy that you're trying to control, the kundalini energy, is very powerful. It is part of the cosmic energy, and the creative energy of all that exists is part of that. And if it can exhibit, it's an explosive force. If it goes up and you can't bring it down, this is the problem people have. It goes up and it's in the head and it is so intense, causes a headache in the physiology of your brain, and causes problems in your brain, and you need to go to a psychiatrist and be placed under drugs, and sometimes become institutionalized, because you start hallucinating and seeing things that other people cannot see, and you go, and it's a very negative. It's not a pleasant experience. It's not an experience of love and bliss and enlightenment and all that. It is a very dangerous thing, and one needs to be able to access someone who can do it either physically or telepathically. So I have control to be able to control that in my students, even if they are far away, and I'm able to control that energy for them and bring it down for them, so that it doesn't become dangerous, where it leads to psychosis as well. So it is important to learn these kriya practices under a qualified person who's got 100% control of this energy, and he's practicing this for a long time, right? People like myself who knows how to do it. So this kriya practice is, I would say, one of the most important practices that can tremendously fast forward the progress in those who feel that they are stuck, right? It's definitely going to fast forward. You're not going to feel that you're stuck once you are practicing that on a daily basis, you will be progressing incrementally. So people have reached a stage where they felt they are stuck for 10 years, 20 years, and I met some people who were stuck for 50 years, right? They were stuck on a level for 50 years because they didn't know this practice. And all I had to do is introduce the practice to them safely, and then they started to experience incremental development as well. But please also remember my previous statements as well, and don't be in a hurry to push yourself. But if you feel you want to push further and you want to go a little faster, you don't necessarily have to learn it from me. You can learn the Kriya practice from any number of people who know it, right? And I can't recommend anyone because I don't like to recommend to others that I don't know for sure will be able to safely manage this for you. And even myself, I cannot give you a guarantee that there's going to be no psychosis, but just that I haven't experienced any problem among so many students over the decades. And when some of my students did experience it, I successfully managed to control it, right? So I can't be so egotistical to say that I'm so powerful that I can control the creative energy, right? Not necessarily so, right? There may be that caveat. So if you willing to go into that dangerous level, right? Willing to take that risk, you have to take that risk that is going to lead to something that is possibly going to be uncontrollable, right? So remember these things as well, especially when you're trying to advance yourself, rapidly. There's always some compromise and some risk, right? When you want to become extremely wealthy, there's going to be some sacrifice and some risk. People who want to be in a safe environment, want to take many risks, don't become self-employed. They take an employment where you've got your social security, you've got your medical insurance, and you've got your fixed income that you can count on every month on that day, and you can incrementally increase it by joining other companies. Yes, you would not be earning in the level of self-employed people, in millions. Even someone who is a medical practitioner is not expected. A doctor, you think a doctor is very rich. So generally a doctor is not expected to earn $1 million a year, right? They're not expected to reach. There are some that reach it. They are like so few and far between. It's like you could say it's impossible, right? The numbers are so less. So you can't plan out that I'm going to enter this field and I'm going to end up, becoming, making millions and billions, become a billionaire, right? So it's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be possible, to attain that. So similarly in these sciences, you want the big result, the big mystical things, you have to take some risks, right? In those practices. But there are safer practices, just the pranayama practice on a safe level, and the hatha yoga practices, holistic practices that will help in the development, better, and can slowly progress you better, right? Help in your progression, in your overall progression, slowly. And there is faster methods as well with the Kriya as well, right? So hope that helps you, and take care of yourself always.